Alright, how's it going today? So today we're going to be playing Esper Control in standard best of one. This is a brew I did right when the new set came out in the Dynasty. I think we went 5-1 or 6-1 with it. It felt really good at the time. Now that some decks have filtered their way to the top, there's kind of a more or less meta game. We're going to give it a run again here on ladder. See if it still feels good, or if maybe it was only good at the very beginning of, the format when things weren't solved. So we're going to give it a shot here. I call it true Esper Control, as it's kind of like akin to the old days where it was just instant speed removal spells, sweepers, planeswalkers, counter spells, and lands. So that's basically the whole idea. Like traditional control, kill all their creatures, counter the problem cards, wipe the board, and play a planeswalker and pull ahead. So that's what we'll be doing today. We're playing on the ladder, seeing how it goes. It is worth noting I was 3 games in before I realized I didn't click the record button for this. So on Twitch we're currently 1-2, 1 win, 2 losses. We lost the mono green, didn't see any sweepers. Kind of a rough one. That matchup should be really good. And then we played a red-white brew I've never seen before. I'm not very up to date on standard, but I have yet to see that deck before. So this is a slightly loose keep. I think we'll give it a shot as we have all of our colors. We have a removal spell. We have some draw spells. It is worth knowing playing this first means that we can't Vanishing Verse on 2. Go ahead and put our Doomscar on layaway. I want to do Behold the Multiverse, but if they're a creature aggressive deck, I'll be more happy to have a Doomscar on our turn than a Behold the Multiverse. So, and I know this giving double strike can sometimes pile the damage on fairly quickly. And look at our opponent go. I'm gonna pass here. It's a little risky if we don't kill it on our turn. I don't know what indestructible spells that they have. Well, they're just tapping out now, so. Our mana is looking slightly awkward here. As you can see, we don't have double blue or double black. See how much aggression our opponent has left here. Opponent's still going. We don't hit a land, that's very unfortunate. See what leftovers our opponent has. Them not having lands, I assume it's all gas in the tank. And our opponent just has it all. It is worth noting I did mess up here. I should have killed this in response to them playing this, as I would have took 1 less damage. I totally missed this as a land last turn. It's garbage. I think we might just be dead here. This might be greedy bottoming this. We're probably dead here, but we'll see. Hey, they finally hit another land. The aggro deck finally hit their 4th land. Man, they hit all, what, 3 of these guys. They hit 2 of their Fireblade Chargers, which is probably one of their best cards against us, as it's direct damage when killed, and they also have their Warrior. Seems pretty good. I guess I had to let this go, right? And killed it inside combat. I don't know the interaction with this. I assume the rabbit doesn't fall off and isn't still attacking. I'm assuming. Yeah. Looks like it didn't matter anyway. Rather unfortunate we drew all their counterspells there. That is the downside about playing a deck as such as Control goes. I mean, when you don't have an aggressive plan, if your cards line up poorly into your opponents, you will obviously lose. So fortunate this is only a 2-land hand. Even though it does have the colors that we need, there's no draw spell at all. So we'll add the mulligan. Guess we'll keep. I'm not very happy about this hand, but easily put the Professor Onyx back. This card's rather annoying. I'm gonna pass here, see what they do. I like to hold or negate for any problematic cards. I'll take a hit for 2 from Thalia. Us missing this black mana is a little rough. Probably should have played it instead. That was a mistake on my part. They shouldn't have that clue yet. I should have played the black source last turn and held up Vanishing Burst. Hopefully it's tap out for a Chariot or something. That is not ideally what I wanted to see. Unfortunately, we're keeping up with them, but we are on a mulligan, so they will eventually have more cards than us. So we need a Planeswalker or something of that nature. It is nice to see an aggressive opponent actually drawing lands. It's rather unfortunate. This is 2, right? Yeah. Alright, a sweeper here would be great. Alright, let's see what our opponent does here. Unfortunately, we're in another rough spot here. One of those spots where we need another sweeper. Haven't seen any of the more controlling decks. I feel like we're fairly good in a control matchup, as in like blue-black and stuff like that. No, blue-black, I'm sorry. Against, I didn't realize I gave haste. Unfortunately, I think we're just dead here. Sorry, back to what I was saying, blue-white. The Altar Tapper gives me fits sometimes. Like, our out is obviously a removal spell, but it wants to tap our white and black. We'll probably draw nothing. That doesn't do it. Rather unfortunate there. Alright, let's give this another shot here. We might go and make some changes to this deck. Like, every time I've had negate in my hand, it's felt terrible. This hand's not terrible. Obviously, all depends what we're playing against. I think we'll just keep this hand. Obviously, if I was on a mull to 6 and saw one less land in this hand, I would keep, so. We're finally up against control and things we don't have. The one time we hit control and we don't have any counter magic in our hand. I'm curious to know what our opponents is spending. Is our opponents spending removal spells, or are they actually counter spells? They could be draw cards as well, I guess. Like, I don't know if I should be wasting a counterspell on this or not. I mean, it's not a bad target, but we have Vanishing Verse. And does a 2/2 truly matter to us? Just gonna go ahead and Vanishing Verse here. We're giving them a 2/2, and we are tapping out on our turn, but I like to hold our Assault coming for something more impactful that we don't have an immediate answer to. See what else our opponent has here. We'll go ahead and counter this, as they can probably find the what's that new card called? It's an artifact that lets you draw cards. Pay 2, draw a card. Well, tap 2, draw a card. So I prefer to keep them drawing more cards than me. They'll eventually hit it anyway, but you know, they're digging for it. I want to try and stop it. We are a little low on blue mana. I was just trying to hold Seagate Restoration, as we might actually be able to cast it here. I'm gonna pass here. I will kill their creature this turn. I'm just trying to hold a Seagate Restoration, as we're 1 land away from casting it. I'm gonna take the hit here first, though. Right? Will I? I'll take the hit here and make sure they don't play anything I want to Vanishing Verse. They might respond here. Maybe not. So we can Seagate Restoration here, right? The problem is they have another one of their Planeswalkers to flash in and a turn. They can make a 2/2. Coming to what, a 3, and they have a 7/7 haul they can attack us with. So they'd hit us for what, 10? Puts us in a little bit of a rough situation at that point then. I think we'll try it. See, these are counterspells. If they don't counter this, they're not running counterspell. Of course, I guess they could have Jashwari Disruption, how you pronounce it. Okay, they do have a counterspell, okay. See if they start activating this haul at all. This is their 1 free turn to do so. And a 5/7. Good golly. Man, they have another Teferi too. Look at them go. Opponent had some salt waiting for us. Question is, do we think they'll cash her Teferi in? I'll pass and see what they can do here. They want to neg to their Teferi. It's probably the best play for them. If they're scared of it dying, I have a feeling they'll plus. I just want to hold up our Devious cover up. Whereas if we played Fateful Absence, we couldn't do so. It is worth noting we've only drawn what? We started the game with 2 spells. Our opponent is apparently deep in the tank. This is a card we were worried about him finding off the other card. See if they have another counter spell here. I assume they do. What is this awful crab's ability? Interesting. Unfortunately, it looks like our hand not having counter spells till late cost us this game here. Yeah, we're pretty much done here. We'll give it one more turn. But we pretty much lost here. We needed some of our draw cards or a Planeswalker, of which we saw none. We could have also hit Farewell that turn, but we did not, so. Assume our opponent probably has a Tezzeret here to really for the Rubbins. Usually this matchup isn't terrible for us as we have more counter spells than they do, and Farewell's a great card against them, but if you don't draw any set cards against them, it's a rough matchup. Our opponent's taking an awful long time over there. I assume the way tapping they have another Teferi. Alright, they finally gave up and just went for the easy play. Seems good. I have no cards in hand. We draw a land. Alright. So, I think from that matchup we learned to draw more than 3 spells. I'd like a game where we just drew fairly well, like, you know, lands, spells. I drew them both together and to see how the deck does. Because I think, what, we're 0-4 now? With that said, I feel like, you know, variance had a large part of that. Like this year. There's an enchantment deck. See, pardon me. We can never see a farewell. This matchup's fairly easy. We literally just cast farewell, and that's pretty much the matchup. But we will see if we can find said farewell. Well, at least they're playing all creatures at this point. And we actually have a removal spell at this point. I have no idea what this card is. I think let's go ahead and answer this now. These matchups usually seem pretty straightforward. Just like here, we untap, I feel like it's kind of over. But yeah. So at this point, the game is pretty much ended. We just need a Planeswalker to put it out of reach for our opponent. Of course, if we don't find a Planeswalker, you know, it could be an issue. Seems to be a problem with this deck for today. Finding the pieces to come together seems to be a little rough. We're so far ahead, I hate to, you know, let our opponent back in with some crazy combo of drawing cards, more or less here. Like comboing drawing card into drawing card into drawing card, you know, to get them back into the game. So we could be attacking with the hull, but all right, we'll start getting aggressive here. I feel like our opponent is on the back foot. They are flooding out over there. All right, let's see if they can draw something here. Can they draw something to chump block with? Just another land. I feel kind of bad for our opponent. All right. Unfortunately, that I felt like that was a good matchup for us, but our opponent just flooded out more or less and died, so it was a win, but not the way I like to showcase the deck. Hand's a little slow. Lands are awkward. We have both utility lands per se in our hand. I think we'll give it a shot. We have a removal spell and to draw some draw cards. Looks like we're up against black-white. Like a counter spell in our hand. This matchup's usually not too bad. You only care about their planeswalkers for the most part, so. Since their opponent wasted their turn. I'm more likely to play the utility land that makes creatures than the one that lets us draw a bunch of cards. Obviously, I won't miss a land drop. If it comes to that, I will play the Seagate Restoration. Say our opponent has a Planeswalker here. They might have a Sorin. Looks like they're on a more aggressive build. In this matchup, I found you have to use your life as a resource for the most part. Like, Duress is fine. We'll take a Memory Deluge, but we have two, so I'm not going to waste one. Alright, so he took a Hero's Downfall, so I assume... Oh, maybe they're just going to try and beat us down with creatures. Maybe they decide that they can't beat us on the end of game, like the end of, you know, late game, so they're going to be aggressive here. That or they have a Planeswalker, one or the other. But it does help us decide for what we're looking for here in our Memory Deluge. So I was thinking about taking the, the Meat Hook Massacre there. The only thing there is it's a little slow, as I'd prefer for this restoration to turn into a creature before I would do it. But oh, that's cute. Huh? That's cute. Our opponent's wasting a lot of time on this though. Nice thing is here we'll gain 4 life. They can't activate their man land to attack us, so I'm liking our spot here. Them wasting turns like that is great for us. We're going to throw away this Planeswalker more or less here. but our opponent will have to spend their entire turn attacking it, which buys us more time. And the more time we have, probably the better it is for us, so. Farewell's not bad here. It's not super great for us. I'll put a Fateful Absence back. Our opponent might have Vanishing Verse here. No, apparently not. I'm surprised our opponent's doing this. Like, our opponent doing this is just, you know, we have sweepers in our deck. Like, they gave up their opportunity to kill our Planeswalker. Yeah, I mean, they have to take Farewell here. Like, if we draw another sweeper here, like, they pretty much lose on the spot. I'm not sure I agree with our opponent's play here, but... like, we have used none of our sweepers. Our opponent's being aggressive, I like it. Seems like a pretty good draw for us. See what our opponent does here. They probably have a lot of removal spells in their deck. Alright, they had one. Probably a loose play there, but I was hoping they were going to have to tap out in their turn. Oh, hey, no problem, Brad. Yeah, I just decided to try out this Esper list. It did good last time, but now the meta is kind of, I don't want to say stabilized, but, you know, the meta is kind of been solved. I wanted to see how it felt, so. Could have ideally played that a little better there. If I had thought about the Vanishing Verse, we could have played it here on their Architect. But still think we're going to be fine here. It only stinks that they can get back the creature here that lets them rip a card out of our hand, but... well, they're playing a +1/+1. Okay. You don't like that art? You don't like that art of the Wanderer? I like that art. I don't know why. I mean, I'm an anime nerd, so. Our opponent's seeing a bunch of good cards here. Oh no, our memory deluge. No, not our memory deluge. Shucks. Oh, it is the chef's kiss. Oh, I thought you were saying you didn't like it. My apologies. Yeah, our opponent's kind of lost here. It's gonna be a slow grind till I die. Oh, there's a better anime art. I did not realize that. I'm gonna go hunt this up now, Brad. All right, our hand is so good we're putting back memory deluges. All right, what our opponent's thinking. Let's look this up. What's this card called? The Wandering Emperor. All right. All right. Kill this. Lose 2 life. This matchup is very over. Oh, I think I see the art you're talking about. All right, everyone conceded. So, Brad, is this what you're talking about? This art here? Oh, wow, it's in an etched foil. Wow, that is a sweet art. I could imagine. I can't. I mean, yeah, this in etched foil. I bet that is awesome looking. Huh. The price tag reflects it. I'm sure it is stunning for that much. That's wild. I hear that card's doing really great things in some in standard and stuff, and I heard Matt was saying in blue white, I guess, and it's not historic. What's the other one? Pioneer. Apparently, the card's really good in Pioneer. Yeah, we don't play Pioneer, but Matt's been playing Pioneer, and he says apparently like the flash threat of it being able to exile or make a creature is apparently super strong. But his hand is super slow. But if I mulligan to 6 and I didn't have the Planeswalker, I would keep this. So. See if our opponent holds true to their sleeves here. I'm expecting an aggressive deck here. Oh, look at that. That's fancy. Oh. All right, opponent. Come on. Come on. I'm waiting, opponent. Maybe we're just going to get an auto win when they time out. Let's see if they had the equipment that gives double strike here. Last time we played this matchup, our opponent had like the nuts. They literally didn't miss a land. Like, they hit 3 lands and then didn't hit anything else. Do I want to cut myself off blue or black? I mean, I guess I don't have to make that choice yet. Just if I play this, we can no longer cast Hero's Downfall. I guess we already have blue, so yeah, should probably put down black. All right, Dad, come on now. Try to decide what's more important here. This is a mess. Should play this in double black. If I put this on white, it turns on what? It turns on all of our wraths off the top. Turns off all of our counter spells off the top. We really need some land drops here. These negates are probably dead cards. Play something that I can negate, please. Our opponent's moving a little slow for mono red. Nice thing is we are at a fairly high life total. I mean, it's mono red that can change quickly, but well, shucks. It's not good. We're gonna have a small window here, I feel like, to try and hit our land drop. And then in the Memory Deluge, we might still be able to stabilize here, but... why would that happen? I think we're at like 26 lands in this, maybe 27 lands. I'm going to take 3 each turn for now, for like a turn or 2 more, and hold this Fateful Absence. Good lord, deck. I know this is a little loose, but I'm willing to move to discard here. I know it's weird to discard a negate over a planeswalker that's 6 mana, but those cards do help us stabilize fairly well, so. Alright, still need a land here. Start getting to the territory now. I don't know if a land will do it anymore. Good lord. This is a rather unfortunate way to lose here. We had 3 lands in our opening hand. That card probably just does it for us. Like, as in ends it for us. also unfortunate that we don't have another white card to pitch this, that we could have took out the Lord. Alright, that's all she wrote, boys. Apparently we can't draw a land. If we had lands at any point, you know, I feel like we were in that match. Let's see if we can get a match here where we draw some lands and spells. What's with our lands lately? Not what I ideally wanted to see here, but hopefully this is blue-black. I'm sorry. Yeah, black-white. We need to counter their planeswalkers, but I feel like we're favored in this matchup, surprisingly. Nice thing is, as long as we can find another land drop and such, not be under too much pressure, we have Memory Deluge, which is a great card in the matchup. A lot of the removal's dead against us. I'll play this on blue a while. I'm unsure I want to put this on white or black. You obviously need double white at some point. Card's rather unfortunate. We didn't have a counter spell for it, but we'll Fateful Absence it end of turn and untap, and we will Doomscore away all the kiddos that they played, and then hopefully we'll untap and have Memory Deluge. So the eye twitch getting them, you know, more kind of stinks. Okay, our opponent just has mono planeswalkers. It's about the only way that they can beat us in this matchup is just to have mono planeswalkers, which they obviously do. I probably should have killed that this in response, but I want to Memory Deluge here. Man, our opponent's just going off over there. Unfortunately, it's one of the things if they had double planeswalkers and we have none of our, like, we have run negates and everything else. So, you know, the odds of us, like, them sneaking one through, you know, it happens, but it's usually not, you know, tons of them. With that said here, I mean, we're not in a terrible spot as long as I can't disrupt our hand. Let's do this for 2. We don't have anything to do with 1 mana anyway. Our opponent takes their turn playing the, yeah, this card here. That's great for us. We'd rather them not crack the clues, so that way when we farewell, they won't get any card advantage off of it. Wow, they play multiples of Mascot Expedition. Wow. Good for them. multiple mascot expeditions. That makes my play a little worse. Wow, they got us. Us not having any counter spells in this matchup is just really wrecking us here. Wow, no counter spells. These last couple matches have just been rough. This is awful wild. I mean, we were on 2 negates, right? We were on total 6 counter spells and we had none of them. Our opponent has just hit everything out of their deck. I mean, good for them. Hey, there's a counter spell a little too late there, bud. I was trying to hold on to this so we could play it to make creatures, but at this point I think we're just going to need the lands. I assume our opponent's going to be smart here and not play anything else into our... So what, they're going to get to draw cards off this. We're kind of in a pinch here. We have to let it go. Rather unfortunate here. Our opponent's going to get to draw lots of cards. End of turn. It's hilarious because I said this matchup's good for us, and then here we are. We just got obliterated. Rather funny. This matchup usually isn't bad, but you know, we don't hit any counter spells and hardly any spells until later. Wow, our opponent goes deep. Yeah, exactly, Brad. Like, our opponent has literally got stuck with they've hit no removal spells in their entire draw. Just kind of wild. I feel like that's a terrible representation of the matchup, but I guess when your opponent doesn't care about aggressive matchups and doesn't play any sweepers and goes strictly for top end, I mean, that will happen. Like, if we were an aggressive deck at all, it would have been completely different. Or we were playing with the Hinata combo, it's just like that matchup seems terrible. The real pin in it was that we didn't have any We didn't have any counter spells for their back-to-back planeswalker turns. Tan looks risky, but at the same time we have a draw 2, we have a removal spell, and we have a planeswalker. I'll risk it. We're gonna run into all the greedy decks now. What the heck is this? Interesting. Kind of need a black source there, but and our opponent's just gonna have all the counter spells and lock us into playing 1 per turn, and their idea is to get this card down and literally hold us to 1 card per turn. And unfortunately, it looks like it's gonna work because we have no lands again. Seems to be a reoccurring trend. I don't know why it asked me about that. Like, what do you expect me to do? I was very confused by that there. It's not like I had an option if it was entered tapped or not. This is going to be rather annoying because I know we're literally just going to hit the way our opponent's deck set up. I'm willing to bet that they have test of talents. Well, Nicole is going to get hit with a test of talents. Any bets? That seems what the type of deck our opponent will play here. Oh. Alright, well that's fine too. Let's see if we can bait him to counter this here. See a little tap out here. Wow. Well, they have foretold Doom Scars. Our opponent's deck is definitely odd. Do we think our opponent has a counter spell? I feel like we do. We'll just pass. If we hit one more land, we can cast our Planeswalker with backup. Yeah, okay. See how many of these are counter spells that they have. See if they have another one or we win here. Looks like we won. I'm gonna assume our opponent has foretold a bunch of Doom Scars here. I think our opponent doesn't have a lot of answers, so we're just going to jam our second Planeswalker here. I don't know of anything that can really sweep the entire board from this position. I'm sure it exists, but not for... Oh, they do have one. That was my error. I forgot all about that card, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought it cost more than 6. It's rather unfortunate. We have very few cards left to win with, actually. So we have 2 Professor Onyxes that are gone. Our Hullbreaker Horror's gone. With that said, we have Devious Cover Up to put it back in the deck. Our opponent has something here end of turn. They're a Memory Deluge. Go ahead and counter this if they want to tap out in their turn. Can March go face? Target creature or planeswalker? Unfortunately, it can't. Wouldn't that be a way to win? Alright, I think we got them here. They're going to tap out for this, and we'll Devious Cover Up. I mean, we're not... It isn't a win. A Hullbreaker Horror. Well, Jesus. Wonder how many of these they play. Fading Hope here. Yeah. All right, well, we exiled it here. Hopefully that's good enough. I don't know how many they usually play. I think it's usually a one of, but... Hopefully it's only a one of. All right, come on. Cast your Memory Deluge. No. So let this resolve. I'm hoping they're not playing multiple of the horrors, but we'll see. The fact that that card isn't fixed in standard for not being counterable is kind of ridiculous. Let's see if they have multiple counters here. Looks like they don't. Seems good for us. We'll eventually get to a point where we're just all counter spells and threats. Looks like we might get there faster than expected. See what else our opponent has here. Alright, our opponent finally conceded. I feel like the noose was tightening there. Hullbreaker Horror can be an issue, especially that it still can't be countered. So if you fall behind at all in this matchup, the card can beat you. But if they don't have that card, as you saw, we start to pull ahead. This card lets us filter through. I was always going to trying to hold on to 2 removal spells to answer the horror with counter spells, yet to hopefully answer the Hullbreaker horror. But as you saw, Devious Cover Up just lets us put the impactful cards back in our deck. You know, and this lets us filter through our hand, so. See if this is another black white opponent. What is with us and not hitting lands? Like, we either have all the lands or none of the lands. I think I can keep that. Seems better. Alright, looks like we're up against an aggressive deck again. I don't know how competitive our opponent's deck is. I've never seen this deck. Alright, we just need some card draw now. We need some Memory Deluges, a Planeswalker. Something of that nature. Unless our opponent's deck has something surprising in it, I'm not expecting much out of it, to be honest. Not to be rude to our opponent, but... We gotta give it to our opponent's deck, though. At least it has some longevity to it, as they can sacrifice this and add the cards that I'm countering back to their hand. Like I said, we just need a... we're in desperate need of a Memory Deluge, a land, and a Planeswalker. Farewell would be amazing against our opponent's deck. I don't think I care about this card. I know what our opponent's playing, I guess, is a deck with like the blood tokens and such, but I forget the name of the card that really gets it going. It's not in play yet. All right, we've hit enough lands now. We can, you know, draw a Planeswalker, or, you know, one of our many draw spells, or a Farewell. If that'll happen or not, who knows, but... I'm not going to kill any of the creatures. Their clock is very slow. I prefer not to give them clues to draw into more impactful spells. Hopefully our opponent will tap out this turn and we can hit that card. That's the thing I hate, is like would our opponent have seen that line if I hadn't like hovered over their card? You know what I mean? Like they had multiple other times they could have activated this and they didn't, and it's just, you know, it's the thing I really hate about Arena. Yeah, I'm not sure, Brad. I wanted to play Ragavans in the 4-color list tonight, right? But like, I don't know. Matt sent me a list I wanted to play, but like, I feel like Tron's gotten better with the Band of Lyris, and like, not having counter spells in the list just seems a little rough, I guess. Like, I really want to play counter spell, basically. We're starting to fall behind here. Just because our opponent has an engine going to draw them cards and filter through their cards, and we haven't hit any. It's rather unfortunate. I was just getting the hits off these cards. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll let you know for sure, Brad. I'll make a decision here before then. I'll make sure I get over there. I won't. I ain't going to meet you at a restaurant. So. Oh my goodness, Deck. Come on, like. The fact that we lost to this is just mind blowing. Now we just drew no, like. Just the wrong half problem. It's just so rough. And it's just like, does our opponent know that like the cards they have sitting off to the side they could be activating and making 3/2s with? Like, this is the card I need to counter, by the way. This is the card that makes the combo work. So we're dead here, unless we draw a Farewell right now, which we do not. Yeah, we can't cast this right. We don't have enough lands. That is very unfortunate. That game felt like trash, to be honest. So as we're seeing here, the consistency of this deck is the question, I guess. I feel like we mulliganed and missed land drops or flooded a lot. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, is that variance or is that the deck? You know what I mean? Like every game, I feel like we've actually hit lands and spells and had a good combination of both. Like we've won those matches for the most part. So it's like, you know, I'm trying to decide this is worth like still playing with, or is the deck actually bad? And best of one isn't like probably the best place to be testing a control deck. Like this, like every time 2 lands, it's technically 3. Like we're missing a color. And like the last time we played this deck, we didn't have any of these issues. But it seems to be like every game we run into this issue. And like this, like what are we supposed to do with this? Yeah, I'm not gonna mulligan again. I probably should, but I'm not going to. So that's the thing with this deck. As I'm playing through that, I'm wondering, is the deck actually bad, or is it literally just our draws have been coming together horrendously? Like multiple games there, like last game, we didn't see any of our high-end stuff, and now we hit all of our high-end stuff. I like the fact that we mulliganed, I think, 3 of the last 4 games. I may be needlessly taking that hit there, but we'll gain the life back with March of Sorrow. And sometimes like this, our opponent, like I feel, drew fairly well. Like hitting 2 of these. Runes aren't instant speed, right? I'm saying these are, yeah, enchantments. Alright, the question is, can we finally hit another land yet? To play our Farewell and to play our Professor Onyx. I'm letting them go in on this creature. They draw another card, but I'm hoping they play more runes on top of it yet. Apparently not. That's unfortunate. Of course we're not going to hit a land. Why would we hit a land, guys? You already draw all lands or no lands. Wow, look at our opponent go. For their best card against us. Only put one card back in. We have enough removal spells. Land. Why would we hit a land, guys? Alright, so I played a Doomscar. We could have held a Vanishing Burst, but anything they play here is probably a creature or an enchantment, which Farewell will completely sweep up the board with, so... we might not even have to use the card. Alright, that was enough for our opponent. So like matches like that, we didn't even use all the cards we had at our disposal, and like it felt very one-sided. Now obviously that's against a creature deck, but like we drew lands and spells. We even missed lands for a while. And like I said, we had lands and spells. I understand they lined up correctly. What did we get here? Like I said, they lined up well, but it's like we had multiple answers, like to all the possible plays that they had. Which is how I feel like the deck goes if you draw lands and spells. But we keep ending up with hands like this. Like the mana seems to like be the problem of this deck. Which is wild, because the last time we played it, we had 0 issues. Creature's interesting. A 1/1 for 2 that grows with Ward. And they have 2 of them. That's the other thing that gets me too, right? Is like, I feel like the last couple of opponents we played, they've had like multiples of probably their best 1-drop or best card. I probably want to play us on black, but we need double blue for most of our deck, so. I'm willing to take 2 more damage here from the card that keeps bouncing back to their hand. So I don't feel like giving them a clue. Of course, at this point, they're probably moving slow enough. There's another matchup here where Farewell would be great, but yeah, we never seem to have the mana or the Farewell to cast it. Look at all the value they got from that clue. We killed a creature, we spent mana, traded a card, they got a card and a 1/1, and gained 1 life, and we lost 1 life. Man, our opponent has multiples of every card in their deck right now. Like, this is stuff that blows my mind. Double Patchwork. Double Circuit Menders. They have double of the God Cult, right? They had double of the Reinforced Ronin. It's wild. Alright, we need a Farewell or we've officially lost. Why would we hit a Farewell? We'll play, I think, probably one more match here, and I'm going to call it. Today was not a very good day to play under the account, apparently. Our opponents have had some pretty good hands, and we have mulliganed, I think, what, 4 of the last 5 games? And it's not one of those matchups where we need to hit our Farewell. I'm glad it's my last match. Our opponent just seems to have multiples of all their better cards. kind of wild, to be honest. I'm sure they have the one. I don't know. All right. Thought they're gonna have the card, the one black sacrifice artifact, draw 2 cards. You know. I'm kind of mind blown that they didn't have it. I'm so silly. Why would we draw a land there? I'm gonna take these beats for a little bit. I'm hoping they crack that they're artifacts over here and make them into 2/2s so I can sweep them with the Meat Hook Massacre. I'm pretty sure we lost this match again due to missed land drops. How are our opponents so good? Why are we so bad at drawing good cards? This doesn't even do it. It literally just puts us back in the same boat. But we don't do it, we're dead, so. Man, the card even has haste. Ain't that some wild shit? This is an infuriating part, right? So we miss lands. If we had lands, you know, and didn't literally draw 3 of our 4 planeswalkers here, like, we would fare well and have a removal spell up for their hive. As it sits, though, we're going to die to their hive because we didn't draw anything to answer it. Like, these matchups feel so one-sided when really, if you go back and watch our other video, it's really not that one-sided. And like, we were dead there and our opponent didn't attack us. And again, it's one of those situations where like we didn't have land, so they could rebuild here. And again, like if we were at a higher life total and didn't miss our land drops, like we weren't in the situation. It's just mind-blowing, you know what I mean? So like here, we're still in it, right? So we hit our march, they hit their land, we're gonna gain 2 life, right? And they're not gonna be able to kill our planeswalker. So like again, we're stabilizing, and we missed how many land drops? And like I said, it's just, you know, this deck has been showing a very poor performance, and I don't feel like that's the true case. This may have been a loose move on our part, as they might have a kill spell here, but we do need to find an answer to this flying creature.
Closer to heaven when I'm in your arms, feeling you're present when you're near or far. Who would have guessed we'd end up where we are? Even I had doubts. Don't tell me where we're gonna go, just take me right now. Every time shaking. Yeah, you're the only one who knows how to say.
Hey, buddy. So as you can see, like, if we would have, you know, not been such a tediously low life total, you know, and, you know, we weren't wasting our resources just trying to stay alive earlier, we would be fine here. But unfortunately, due to us hitting all of our stuff so late, you know, we're in a very bad situation.
No second guessing, 'cause I'm hooked on you.
See, it's so unfortunate too, because this makes a 1-1.
Exception breaking all the rules. What's up?
Can we hit her instant speed removal spell? We cannot, so we've died. It's unfortunate.
'Cause all I want is you.
So anyway, as you saw here, this matchup, we've played it now, it's the third time. I think every time we've been mana screwed. Does not feel bad.
I'm shaking.
You know, if we weren't on the very, you know, drawing the very last second, drawing the card that we needed, this matchup's not hateful. Unfortunately, our opponent did draw well. We missed our land drops as normal, had to mulligan, and here we are. So, yeah.
Where you wanna go? Just take me. Right now, every time you close, I'm shaking.
Well, let's look here at the deck. This is the deck that we played today. So look at the quick land count here. So it is 25 lands that we played today. And that's what we played. I mean, make your own conclusions from what you saw today. I feel like our opponents ran very well today. We ran very substandard today. Multiple times we missed lands, we flooded, or we simply had to mulligan. Last time we played this deck, it felt great. Didn't have any of those issues, any of those land issues or mulligans to deal with. And as you saw, I feel like the games where we did, like our last game, I feel like shows it very strongly that if we do hit a mixture of lands and spells, this deck is competitive, and I feel like it's very competitive. That's just my personal opinion. Like I said, I just think it was a rough day for the deck. Our opponents also had some pretty good draws today. That might be, you might say it's me making excuses for the deck, which very well could be. You know, my sample size is not big enough to tell you for sure this is good or bad. You know, sometimes these negates were terrible when we had them, and then other times we had them, we probably would have won. Like our blue-black opponent, I'm sorry, our white-black opponent, just jamming back-to-back planeswalkers. You know, we had a negate to answer one of them. Like, I felt like we were in a much better spot. You know, things like that. Farewell. We hardly cast Farewell at all. But in multiple instances there, against that black-red artifact deck, I'm sure it has a name. We've seen it enough that it must be a meta deck at some point in some capacity. I feel like that matchup is very winnable. The problem is you know, we didn't find that many marches. We didn't hit our draw spells. We missed lands. We didn't have negates. You know, we didn't hit our farewells. So, you know, when the game plan doesn't come together, it will obviously lose. Obviously, you gotta draw the right mixtures of spells, card draws, planeswalkers, and lands, unlike aggressive decks where you're doing one job. So, I mean, that's the nature of the beast when you play control. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Like I said, you can come to your own conclusions about it. I'll probably play it again here another time here, probably over the weekend, to try it through on a different day and see if our opponents don't, you know, when our opponents don't have it all, I feel like, and hopefully we can draw a little better. So anyway, thanks for stopping in, appreciate it. Have a good one.